Welcome to Flowers with Tammy. This morning we're going to be making a table runner. It could be used for a wedding, holiday gatherings, for your tablescapes. What we're going to be working with is Italian Ruscus, silver dollar eucalyptus, and seeded eucalyptus. I've already separated things out and made smaller batches of things. I may need to add more as we go along. Normally when you're making these, you would make them the length of your table if you wanted them to hang off of your table. Today, for this purpose, we're not going to do anything that large. But basically you would follow the same concept as we're doing today. I've picked out the two longest pieces of the Ruscus, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly braid them together. And you just take it and just take the stems and just twist them around each other. If we were doing a larger runner, we would do the same concept. We would start a little bit differently with doing it, running it in this way and just adding more pieces, and then when you get to the end you would go back and put a piece, one single piece this way. But that's not what we're doing today. So today this is what we're going to do is we're just going to take them and slowly braid them in. Sometimes you have fumble fingers, it's been a little harder. Once you get it braided where you want it, you're going to take twine. Today I'm using a neutral color twine just so I can find it and show it to you. So it's easier to find. Normally you would try to find something that matches the color of your greenery. So once you get it braided in, you find your end pieces, and we're going to tie those in. Like so. And we're going to leave these strings long because we're going to come back in and we're going to add the seeded eucalyptus and the silver dollar eucalyptus. I've got string pre-cut here. I try to pre-cut everything before I start, but sometimes I run out because I don't cut enough. That's normal. Sometimes you think you're only going to use a little bit and you use a lot more than what you actually think you're going to use. And then always put one right in the center so I know that everything's secure. And as I said, if you were doing this on a longer piece, you would continue to do the strings, tying everything along and along. So now that we've got that done, like I said, I'm using this color so it's easy to see. You would gather up, I pre-cut some of my seeded eucalyptus and my silver dollar eucalyptus. You would gather some of that up, and you can do it based on what you like. If you want it fuller, the more you put in, the fuller it's going to be. If you're not looking for a super full tablescape or table runner, then of course you could always do it with a little bit less. So I'm going to start at the end and kind of work my way in. That's just how I do it. Everybody has a preference of how they like to work. Some people work from left to right, right to left. I usually start from the left and go to the right. Some will start in the middle. I don't do that. You know, but it's a personal choice. So. And this is how one end looks when you've got it in. So now the next pieces that you take, you're just going to make sure you overlap this so you're not seeing the ribs, the twine, and you're not seeing the ends of the seeded eucalyptus and the silver dollar. So you would just take your next set and put them in like so. ran out of string. Like I said, you will run out of string. So just keep your string and your scissors handy. Once you get finished with this, we'll go back and we'll cut all these strings down short where they won't be seen. And you can just trim those up. But so far, this is what we're looking like for our tablescape. It's very bendy and flowy. So if you had a small table and you were just using this for decoration and not for your dinner plans, you could take this and just let it hang off the edge of the table. Like this is your table and you let it hang off. It'd make a really pretty view for your guests coming in. So again, you just keep gathering your eucalyptus. And then this one, it actually hits where my string's at, where I tied the center. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using cut more string and using, I'm just going to use this. It'll work just as well. And then right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here I have another string. So just to give this long piece a little bit more stability, I'm going to go ahead and tie it in a little better, because it seemed to be a little floppy. You'll lose leaves while you're doing this sometimes, but it's okay. There's plenty of leaves on your stems, so you'll be fine. Before I started this, I'm not liking the way this looks. Let me fix this. Before I started working on this, I took the seeded eucalyptus, the silver dollar eucalyptus, and the ruscus, and I put it in cold water and kept it in a cool room. That's what you would need to do if you were going to do this yourself at home. Make sure that you take all the foliage off of the bottom of your stems and have them naked like this, so the water doesn't get a bacteria in it and cause your foliage to rot. That does happen. And every now and then when you're doing it, you want to just pick it up, look at it, and see if it looks the way you want it. If it doesn't, add some more. You can always add more. You can take away also in this, but we can always add more foliage. Okay, let's grab some more. Okay, so we're just a little over halfway finished, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but one side looks a little fuller than the other, but we can work on that in just a second. Let's just get it finished, and then I'll show you how to work on those places that you feel like you need just a little bit more. It's hard to remember to look up at the camera and talk to you instead of looking down at what I'm doing. As you can tell, I'm working outside. You can hear nature in the background. And it's a little warm. Move some of this around so I can slide this so we can see this end in here. Now when we get to this end here, we've been going in the direction to my left. When you get here, you don't want all your foliage going in that direction. You want some to come to this direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit. And we're going to take the seeded eucalyptus and the silver dollar eucalyptus, and we're going to just kind of work backwards and put it underneath, your stems underneath, and just kind of push back up into that last part that you just finished. And then you're going to tie that off. Kind of close to the same spot where you did the last one. And then we've got one more end to do down here. Sorry about that, there was a gnat flying in my face. So ran out of string again. Okay. So remember I said that there was one part that didn't look very full. Well, you probably can't see it from your side, so let me turn this around. But if you notice right here, this doesn't look very full, it looks empty. So all we have to do is just go back in and take a couple of pieces. It's a little big, so we're going to cut that. We're just going to take a couple little pieces and see if we can stick them back in where we've already tied off. And in this case, it's working. Well, it was working. There we go. So we're just going to take this and push it in, and just keep pushing it in. And if that doesn't work, if it's still not full enough, add another piece in. It may be that we just need to tie another piece in. But you would just keep adding it in like so to give it a little bit more fuller effect. So this is our table runner. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set it up on a table. So just hang tight and we'll be back with that. Thank you. Okay, I'm just finishing up cutting off those strings I told you about. You just gather the strings up, cut them as close to the stems as possible, making sure you don't cut the knot, the stem, or your eucalyptus or anything. So if you were having a holiday or a wedding, whichever, and of course the more eucalyptus that you put in here, the fuller it gets. So if you were having a wedding or a holiday dinner and you wanted to create this beautiful table runner, scape, whichever you want to call it, you could take little votives. I bought these, I think, at the dollar store. And you just tuck them in along the way on the front and the back. And you can use as many or as little as you'd like. I chose 5 just because I felt 5 was enough. I went to the local Hobby Lobby and picked up some fall decor. We've got some little green pumpkins you could stick in. It came with some berries you could stick in. Let's see here. It came even with a little succulent that you could put in. Let's see. We got a white pumpkin. Let's rearrange this. Let's put the orange in the center. Okay. And then I picked up some just the picks with little pumpkin picks. Haven't even taken the tag off. And you could just gently put those in like so, wherever you felt like you wanted them. The other option is you could get like a little cupcake server, and you could put that there and put your pumpkin on it. Or you could take one of these and cut the stem off. Let me get some heavy duty cutters here to cut this stem. Go. You could put the pumpkin in there. Maybe put, where'd that other succulent go? Here it is. You could put a succulent in there and the orange pumpkin if you chose. It's just creating, just finding things in your home or buying new things and put them on your tablescape. For a wedding, you could do the same. You could integrate flowers in. For Christmas, you could put candles, you could put candied fruit, anything in to the centerpiece. So this is the tablescape with a fall look to it. Again, like I said, you don't have to use all of these things. You could just choose whatever you have at home, or you could go buy something special to put on your table along with your table runner. For a wedding, you could add flowers. For Thanksgiving, Christmas, you could add flowers, or even a special event that you're having other than a wedding or a holiday. It's just a matter of putting your mind to work and being creative. Hit the like button below if you've got some creative ideas from this tutorial. And if you like what you've seen today, please hit subscribe. Also, please share with your friends. Thank you and have a nice day.
It's a wrap.